Chidimma Adetshina's mother spotted at Miss Universe Nigeria. Shortly after Chidimma Adetshina was crowned Miss Universe Nigeria the weekend, ActionSA wrote an urgent letter to the Department of Home Affairs seeking clarity on how Adetshina's mother traveled to Nigeria. According to the party's chief whip in parliament, Lerato Ngobeni, Adetshina's mother was spotted during a TV broadcast at the weekend. Ngobeni slammed the department for negligence as travels would be restricted, especially to Nigeria. It is alarming that the main subject of this ongoing investigation was seen in Nigeria this past weekend during a televised broadcast of Miss Universe Nigeria, said Ngobeni. The beauty queen's controversial pageantry journey sparked division among South Africans when it was discovered that she was born of a Nigerian father and a Mozambican mother. Adetshina's victory comes amid pending investigations from the department following insidious evidence pertaining of her South African citizenship. The department recently revealed the former Miss SA contestant's mother allegedly stole the identity of a South African woman from Tshwane who entered the National Population Register in 1982. Ngobeni cited the June 2022 report by the Ministerial Committee of the Issuance of Permits and Visas, stating of the 36,647 fraudulent applications detected, 12,177 originated from Nigerians, underscoring the scale of the problem. These figures not only spotlighted the scourge of undocumented foreigners in the country, but undermined South Africa's immigration law. ActionSA demands that the government not take a lax approach to enforcing our laws, especially when fraud is uncovered, as in the case of Chidimma Adetshina's mother, said Ngobeni. Adetshina's mother was issued the Promotion of Administrative Justice letter last month. Representing Taraba State, Adetshina accepted an impromptu invite from the Miss Universe Nigeria organizers. This journey has been a touch journey for me, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm really grateful for the love and the support. This is something that I've always wanted, and I'm really glad that I have a second shot as well as achieving it, said Adetshina. The 23-year-old said her crown signaled a call for unity among Africans. This is after South Africans were accused of spreading xenophobic and Afrophobic slur against Adetshina. I feel amazing. This crown is not just for beauty, but a call for action, which is unity, she said. While Nigerians were overjoyed and celebrated her triumph, the department said Adetshina could face the risk of being stateless. The Home Affairs Portfolio Committee head of Legal Services, Pelelani Kumalo, told MPs that Adetshina's citizenship could be cancelled. In the event that the Director General finally cancels the identity document, it would mean the registration itself was fraudulent, said Kumalo. Adetshina's win also came with mixed reactions on the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, with many users saying her strong opponent Miss Kwara, Ufa Dania, deserves the crown. Dania broke pageant stereotypes as the first plus-size contestant to view for the crown. Additionally, some believe that the pageant was orchestrated. Hiba said on X, Nigeria couldn't even get a Nigerian woman who grew up in Nigeria to win Miss Nigeria. Scripted, imagine a stranger who did not audition came and scammed your crown. I feel sorry for those girls, said Bernice. So all these other contestants entered the competition for nothing, worked so hard only for someone that came from yesterday to win. This is a total joke, said Peaches. Adetshina is set to represent Nigeria as the Miss Universe pageant in Mexico in November. On the other hand, ACE woman to reunite with son abducted 20 years ago by estranged husband's Nigerian family. A South African woman based in Greece has blamed the South African Police Services SAPS for failing to prevent the alleged forceful abduction of her 2 children by the family of her estranged and now deceased ex-Nigerian husband. Speaking to independent media all the way from Greece, Viveni Patzol said after opening 3 abduction cases with the Jamestown police in 2008 on the suspicion that her husband's family was planning to take her, then 2-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son to Nigeria, she went to the police, but her 3 cases that she opened all vanished into thin air. Patzol said the past 20 years without her children had been a daily nightmare, as her children were told lies that she had remarried and did not want her children. The mother of 2, who is about to be reunited with her son after successfully tracking her now 27-year-old son through social media, spoke on her pain after losing her 2 children, 7-year-old Kingsley Okechukwu Chidi and 2-year-old daughter Irene Kasiri Chidi. She claims that relatives of her then Nigerian husband, who after his death orchestrated an elaborate plan to take her children away from her in order to benefit from his Joburg house and security business. In 2004, my 2 children were kidnapped from South Africa without any permission from me. They were removed and taken to Nigeria, where they have been abused and exploited. I blame the police who failed to heed my calls and failed to help me prevent the abduction of my children, and all the 3 cases I opened with them vanished into thin air. 2 weeks ago, after 21 years, through my daily searches on social media, I found that my children are stuck and suffering in Nigeria with no family, said Patzol. According to Patzol, her anguish began when her husband, Christopher Onuchidi, was granted SA citizenship following their marriage in 1996. 20 years ago, I married my Nigerian husband, with whom I had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Our problems began immediately after he received his SA papers. He started abusing and beating me up and immediately filed for divorce. I was a victim of domestic violence, and because he had money, he was granted full custody of our children. I went from department to department and opening no less than 3 cases, which all disappeared into thin air. When he died, his brother took over his business and told me he was taking my children to Nigeria, and this was his brother's wish, she said. Patzol said her efforts to get in contact with her children were thwarted whenever she came to their house, and eventually this led to complete disappearance of her children, who she says were abducted without her consent and knowledge and taken to Nigeria, where they remain to this day. The mother of 2, who is now working around the clock to arrange a reunion with her children, said through daily searches on social media, she recently saw a picture of her eldest son and immediately recognized him and reached out to him to inform him of his real identity and citizenship. 2 weeks ago, I was on social media trying to locate my children. When I came across the picture of my son, I reached out to him immediately, but he did not respond until after a few hours. I told him that I've been searching for him and his sister after they were stolen from me by their Nigerian family. He told me that they were told that I had remarried and had no time for them, which is why they were taken to Nigeria, she said. Patzol says her son had told her of endless abuse of the hands of his Nigerian relatives, while her daughter has been brainwashed against her and is not willing to return home. My son has told me that he suffered abuse 2 years after being taken after the money from their father's businesses stopped coming in. I suspect that the real motive behind the abduction of my kids was to get their hands on my late husband's money. His house was sold instead of being placed in a trust. My son has just applied for his SA ID at the SA consulate in Nigeria and will be coming to SA to sort out some of his documents, and soon after will come to Greece. As for my daughter, she has been brainwashed and wants nothing to do with me. I'm told that she will be getting married to her Nigerian boyfriend, she said. Kingsley, who is looking forward to being reunited with his mother after more than 20 years of forced separation, told Saturday Star that the past 20 years has been traumatic for him and his sister, who were emotionally and physically abused by their father's family. I can confirm that when my dad passed away in October 2007, me and my sister were sent, or rather kidnapped and sent to Nigeria in the 2007 without my mom's consent. After his burial, my late dad's brothers agreed that one of them will go to USA and that we, my sister and I, will stay with the other. However, my father's brother by the name of Wisdom Chidi Olubiri took charge of my dad's property and me and my little sister, but when he left for SA, he turned his back on us, leaving us to suffer for 17 years in Nigeria. Whenever I asked after the house, he would tell us that he sold our father's property but would not tell us what happened to the money due to us. We suffered in Nigeria while my father's brother lived happily in South Africa, Kingsley told Saturday Star. Kingsley said there were days when he and his sister did not have food to eat, saying, "The past 17 years have been a traumatic experience for us. There were days when it's so hard to have a meal." Up to this day, the man has refused to give me details about the property since I'm now of age. We basically grew up almost 20 years of our lives without our mom and without the truth until my mother found me, he said. SAPS provincial spokesperson Colonel Kweza confirmed that the matter was investigated by the Jamestown police station, saying she will make follow-ups on what happened to the investigation. I'm told that this was with FCS in Jamestown. I will have to follow up with it tomorrow as I'm outside of operations, she said. And that's it from Egypt's crime. Stay tuned to ACE criminal and correctional updates.